Huh. I did like charge you before I started. So why are you being a pain about this? Huh? 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 Okay, anyways. Let's do some dishes. Do some quick dishes. I'm gonna place you now in a more logical place, I think. That might be a little bit too hot. I guess we'll see. I guess we shall see. That's a bad spot. There we go. Can we turn you around? Turn. I'm trying to make sense out of this. I know I charged my headset beforehand, but it seems like it's like still not properly charged, which is really annoying. Or I guess it could be the Bluetooth like not the connection not like staying up as it should. I don't know. Maybe I'll try one more thing. I do feel like it. That's unhinged. Okay. Guess we'll have to do this without my Okay, sound is back. Sound is back, and I think we're getting there with the bones, actually. Yeah, these are actually looking great. They might be done now. I think they are. I need to take them out. They do not need any more time in the oven. So I'll show them to you after I've taken them out. Show you kind of what we've been going for color-wise. Hey. Here we go. So this is what it looks like now. They've been kind of nicely charred to some degree, not like burnt, but they got a dark color to them. Though to be fair, reindeer meat is pretty dark always. So this is gonna like this, but this is fine. This should be good. And they've released a lot of fat as well, which is nice. So what we're going to do now, we're going to weigh our potatoes. That is our next step in this, I feel like. So I was counting on this being 1.8 kilograms of potatoes. But I don't know if that is correct. So we shall see. I'll cut them up into like smaller sized chunks. And then I'll put them in. Maybe I'll cut them up first, actually, now that I think about it. So I usually do this when I make mash. I make like pretty small chunks because they're gonna break down while boiling anyway, so it doesn't really matter the size. And smaller chunks just makes it go faster most of the time. So we're just gonna cut these guys up. Shape doesn't matter, they're gonna be mashed anyways. Let's just get them cut up. There we go. There we go. Nice little potato pieces that we can boil. Boil and mash and stick them in the stew. There we go. Beautiful. God, I always underestimate usually how much potato I need for these kinds of things as well, which is a little bit frustrating. So we'll see if this is like close to number. I never really know how much actually goes away while peeling. That's also a problem that I probably should work on. I mean, it's not that difficult. I should just look at it now and kind of see how much percentage-wise I lost. That's just the best way to do it, to be fair. There we go. My cat is very interested in the potato peel that I have, which is fine. You know what? He can mess with that. That's a-okay for me. I'll be surprised if he eats it anyways. I mean, I feel like potato peels shouldn't be appealing for a cat, but you never know. You never know. I mean, he is eating it, but I don't think he'll like it. Okay, we're almost done with the cutting. Now, the reason why I'm doing the potatoes, like cutting up the potatoes and peeling them before the meat, is because this is actually a very, very fast dish that we're going to be doing. Like, the meat cooks really, really quickly because we're going to be cutting it into like quite small pieces. You'll see. It'll make sense. It'll make sense when I show it to you guys. But yeah, so we want to start the potatoes, preferably before the meat, because the potatoes are gonna take like maybe 20 minutes to cook, maybe. and everything else is gonna take a while longer. My cat is trying to be sneaky about this, but I need to like try and still establish the rule that he can't eat stuff from the sink. I mean, that just feels logical to not allow him to do right. There we go. We got the potatoes. Let's measure them out, see how much we have. So I bought about 1.9 kilograms. Let's see how much we lost. I think it was about 1.9 at least. I think we will be at like 1.8 maybe. Oh, he ran away with a piece of potato peel. No. Yeah, we lost a lot. You actually lose so much more than I think. So this is 1.6 maybe. About 1.6. Potato. There we go. I'm just writing it down so I remember. There we go. Let's fill this with water. Now, as I said before when I cooked this kind of thing, right? We do not want the water to... We don't want to salt the water. We're going to salt everything when it's being made into mash. So that's the way to do it, at least from my perspective. There we go. Let's turn off this thing. There we go. Oh yeah, we have some nice like meat juices here from the oven, which is real nice. I'm gonna try and like rip off a piece here. Oh, that is so good. God, I could literally just eat this actually. God, that is actually disturbingly good. My dad said that this is the way to like what you should do with these, but I never really believed him. But God, now that I tried it, maybe this is the way. God, that is so good. Oh my God, it's so salty, but it's so good. Salty and smoked. Really freaking delicious. Okay, let's bring out the meat. So the meat is also a little bit lower than I would have liked. Maybe I'm gonna do this. Just gonna do some changes here. Edit recipe. There we go. That should be fine. Okay, so we'll start off by cutting the meat, I think. And then we'll do the carrots so that my hands can like chill a little bit from all the cutting. Okay, here we go. So this is some smoked reindeer meat as well. This is like one of the best meats. If you try to buy this, if you like actually want to buy this in Sweden, especially in like Stockholm and stuff, this is very expensive because you can't really get it anywhere else. Like it's not that special in per se. Cat, stop! Get the fuck out of here. It's not that special per se, but it is like it's usually only made here in like the northern part of Sweden. So it's like it's kind of special in that sort of sense. Now we just want to cut this kind of thinly. This is like usually how we do it when we cook it here. So this is why it cooks so quickly as well, because you just like cut it very thin. Just do some very thin cuts. And this technically, like as I said, this is reindeer meat. You don't need to eat this. This doesn't need to be well done. You can eat this rare as well. And it's so good. It's like one of my favorite meats, probably. And this is, up here, it is called sovas, which means sovas is just smoked. in is it Sapmi or in Finnish? It's one of those two. It just means smoked. So it's not really anything special in the word. Like the word doesn't really mean anything special in that sense. But a lot of people like to say Sovas smoked reindeer. So it's like smoked reindeer. Nice. I'm just gonna cut this up, and I'm gonna measure this as well, just to make sure that we're on the still the same amount of meat. I don't think we're gonna lose anything really, but it's always better to make sure. And as I said, this is kind of a weird thing as well. You don't really, as this is something that you don't really want to cook until it's well done. You want to try and be very usually it doesn't get a lot of color. It's gonna get some, not an insane amount, because we're cutting it so thinly as well. Now, technically, you don't need to cut it this thinly, but this is just how I've learned to cook it, right? So this is how I've always done it. So we're just gonna keep doing it like that, Why break tradition when you don't have to? Am I right, fellas? Oh god. Random bot spam. I'll go and take care of them soonish. But yeah, the important part is that they're kind of equal thickness. Though to be fair, as I said, that doesn't really matter either, because we're going to it doesn't need to be cooked through, right? So it doesn't really matter in that sort of sense, for wellness reasons, as long as it's we mostly cook it to get it hot, right? So that's the biggest part about it. Other than that, it doesn't really matter. Now, some people, and this happens everywhere, refuses to eat raw meat, right? It's this is not unhealthy, it's not cooked. And you're yeah, well, I mean, it's not unhealthy, it's not cooked, that's the point. Usually you don't want fully cooked meat, that's kind of disgusting. Some people are, impossible to convince of that. And also it depends on where you're from, right? I feel most of the countries in EU has good enough health standards that you can eat most meat rare. So I've never really thought about this, where it's actually I need to make this well done because bacteria. I've never really thought about that here. It's not really a thing. So it feels weird when if someone were to come onto stream and be you can't do that, that's crazy. And I'm you know what? You're crazy. I am totally sane. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Now fuck off. Here we go. Oh my god. I'm so hungry, by the way. I haven't eaten in 7 hours. And I am extremely hungry right now. I haven't worked out today either. And usually if I work out, I kind of lose a little bit of that appetite if I'm cooking late. But today I'm oh god, I could eat this raw, probably. Probably could, actually. God, it looks so good though. So good. I am so ready to consume all of this meat. Well, not all of it. Just 1/10 of it. Merely 1/10. Now, what is nice about wild meat, especially this is reindeer, so this is a little bit fatter. But if this was moose, this would actually be so lean that there wouldn't be any fat basically in the meat, which is also really nice. So moose meat is really, really lean, which is kind of important to remember if you're cooking with it, because that means you need to use a little bit of extra fat when cooking. especially if you're making burgers out of it. Like moose burgers, if they're not properly like filled out with fat, can be the driest thing that ever existed in the world. A lot of wild animals are like kind of lean, right? Because they never build up the kind of fat storage that bred animals do. So it's like that's kind of the reason usually. That's fine. It's just a difference. It's just a little bit different. Just a little bit different. A little bit of Jessica in the sun. This one has kind of this weird ass. Oh, we can do that actually. That's actually probably the way to do it. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. Nice. Okay. Now we can cut it in smaller pieces, which is kind of what I want to do anyways, because they were getting a little bit too big there. A little bit of Jessica in the sun. Now usually, if you want this to get the like really like Sovas consistency that they would serve, or at least that I've eaten kind of when I grew up, you would want to like do this while it's like still a little bit frozen, so that you have the like the meat doesn't have the kind of like squishiness of meat, so it's not like still a little bit frozen and have that kind of like structure to it from being frozen, right? That's a way that my dad used to do it. I think mostly, to be fair, it's probably because he was bad at planning taking out the meat, so he has like did it like that. But it does also make it easier to cut into like really thin strips if you want like really thin. But I usually don't mind them being a little bit thicker, because then you have like it. You can have it more rare, right? More rare. So that makes sense to me why I don't take it out and like do it the same day. But a lot of people do, just like kind of defrost it a little bit, and then they just go ham with like a sheep knife, so it doesn't like fuck up the knife that much. But this is my way of doing it. This is the world we live in. Did I not turn you off? Oh yeah, it's because it's still hot. I see. Still too hot. These are the times when Superman, where are you now? Now the reason why we're doing this first, like I'm waiting a little bit with the stock because it's gonna take my biggest part of the stove, so I don't want to like start it just yet because I'm gonna need that for cooking this. So we're just gonna let it chill for a little bit. It doesn't really matter that it gets a little bit cold. We're gonna boil the shit out of it anyways. Well, not boil the shit out of it, but it's gonna be like cooking for quite a while. So bacteria-wise, I think we're safe. And then after we've, like obviously making stock takes quite a while, all right? It takes a couple of hours. So I'm probably gonna make the like base of the stock today. And then tomorrow, I'll probably like reduce it into like actual kind of like logical amounts of stock. Because like first when you make stock, you get the like flavor water, so to speak. And the flavor water is nice, obviously, but you want the more concentrated liquid for it because it takes a lot of room to have flavored water. So I'll probably like boil it until I go to bed tonight. Then I'll probably leave it outside just to freeze because it's like kind of cold outside. It's like minus 10 maybe, something like that. So that's cold enough, if you ask me. And after that, I'll take it inside tomorrow, let it thaw during the day, and then like during the evening, I'll maybe boil it a little bit more. I don't think it's gonna need that, to be fair. I think it's gonna like most of the flavors are gonna be extinguished from it anyways during the like 3-4 hour boiling that I'm gonna do today. So I think actually I could probably just remove the bones and like just put that out to freeze. Maybe that is the logical way to do it now that I'm thinking about it. That is probably the way to do it. There we go. Oh god. I'm getting like so hungry. It's actually insane. I know that I mentioned it before, but like now it's rearing its ugly head. Well, the nice thing, as I said, this is actually like really, really quick to cook. Maybe I should have done the carrots first before this. Basically, after this, I'm gonna cut up the carrots, like peel them and cut them up into kind of thin slices, I think, because we want it to like cook kind of quickly. Then I'll start boiling the carrots as well. They're gonna boil a little bit just to get softened a little bit. And then we're gonna do the meat after. Basically, when the mash is done, we'll do the meat, because like the meat goes in a couple of minutes. Like that's like a 10-minute job at most. It's like real quick. Yeah, after that we will be ready to serve, because that's the only thing we're gonna have. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put peas with the carrots as well after the carrots have are basically done. I just want to put the peas into the boiling water, make sure that they thaw and like cook a little bit. Then we're done. God, my dad is a little bit lazy when it comes to this. I realized, like, he leaves a lot of the like kind of weird silver skin on, which I do not approve of. Like, this could be made way more efficient if you remove the silver skin before salting and stuff like that. It's easier to remove at that point, because then it's like a little bit more manageable. Like now it's like it's a little bit hard. Like, not hard. Hard is not the right word. But it's like it doesn't have the same give as it would when it was like entirely raw and untreated, right? Because this has been salted and smoked. So there's a little bit of a cooking process that has happened. Hence, this is why we don't need to flavor the meat as well. Like, the meat is just going to be like basically perfect when we get to it. I'm actually going to try and be very respectful of my own time here. I'm going to put on a pot of water for the carrots. Something like that. We're just gonna get this to boil already, because I think the carrots I can probably just like throw into the boiling water when it's like done. So that's why I'm gonna do it this way. I did it my way. I want to incinerate and decapitate. I want to melt some faces. What's the word again? Heave. The strength in the air, the smell of the gore, the carnage greater than any war. My legacy, it's going to be me that slaughters the world. Now, I do realize that this looks like a massive heap of meat, which is it. It is. It's not wrong to call it a massive heap of meat. I'm just going to leave it at that, because I don't actually have anything else to say. This is like a bizarre amount of meat. God, if I kind of don't even want to think about what this would cost to buy, because like, it's like, I think one of these bags are about $30 to $40, somewhere there. So this is actually like bizarrely expensive, but it doesn't feel as expensive, right? Because I haven't really paid for it. My dad usually just like asks, like, "Do you want some smoked meat, some reindeer meat? I'm making some," and I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Then he gets some, makes some. He's real nice like that. And then he usually makes this and then dried meat at the same time. So I do have some dried reindeer meat as well. I should probably take that out and like thaw some, have it as a snack. That is such a perfect snack as well. It's like pure protein. It's like surprisingly healthy. I want to incinerate and decapitate. I want to melt some faces. This is the last piece. We're almost there. I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor. I'm feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time. Looking like the pieces of your life without you on my mind. There we go. We're done. We did it! Yahoo! Okay, let's measure this real quick. I'm still standing. Yeah. So how much is this going to be? I think it's going to be still the same. I think it was 1,800 grams when I measured it frozen. It's going to be about the same because this doesn't have a lot of liquids in it. So let's have a look. I can show you a world. Sparkling burn. It's even more actually. 1.85. Which it's a pretty substantial amount. Okay, there we go. That's our heap of meat. Okay, let's get to the carrots, shall we? We're heaping piece of meat. I'm gonna make you kneel my knees of steel. This is one of the big minuses of peeling potatoes. Is I always kind of fuck up one of my fingers. It's like the way I hold the potato peeler. It just kind of like fucks up my finger. In that sort of sense. And now I remember that I needed to go back and band this fucker. There we go. Boom. Beautiful. I'm gonna make you kneel. Heels of steel. Get down on the ground and feel. Heels of steel. Okay, there we go. Oh god. Ooh, my back is a little bit sore from yesterday. I worked out my back, and it's starting to get a little bit like, ew. Does that make sense? I feel like it doesn't, but you know what I mean. Nah, I mean. Okay, let's get the carrots ready quickly because the water is starting to boil. So always peel your carrots unless you're making like sauce or stock with them. This is like actually as like in general a good tip because the peel of the carrot usually has kind of it has a very different taste. It's usually very bitter, like has this very earthy taste, right? So I always peel my carrots. When in doubt, peel carrot. I'm gonna make you kneel. my heels of steel. Get down on the ground and kneel. Heels of steel. So I did count on taking 6 carrots, but we might take more. We'll see how much it turns out to be. I do think that 6 carrots might be enough, but we'll see. Now, peeling carrots, that's easy work. I do love peeling carrots. It just feels very satisfying to peel. It's just so easy. Especially, like, as long as you have pretty, like, straight carrots, right? If you have straight carrots, you can just, like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's actually move it so you guys can see what I'm actually whooping about. Here we go. Like, you can just go like this. It's just so satisfying to peel because it's so easy, right? I say as I fuck up. There we go. Well, I mean, this one isn't straight, so it's a little bit more difficult. But you have to, like, know how to hold them. That usually just, like, makes it way easier. I'm gonna make you feel my heels of steel. Get down on the ground and kneel. There we go. We got 5. I'll probably do like 7 because we have some small ones as well. God, this one wasn't super nice. It had like holes in it, which is weird. There we go. Okay, our water is boiling. Need to turn on the fan real quick. Hope you guys don't mind. It's a little bit loud, but it's not crazy loud. I've heard louder fans, so to speak. There we go. Fuck it, we'll do all of them. Fuck it. Because these are pretty small, the ones that we have left. Then we'll just cut them lengthwise. We won't do anything fancy. I was thinking if I should do like some sort of fancy cut on them, but I don't have time for that now. I'm too hungry. Cannot focus. So we'll just do like regular old carrot cuts. There we go. So we'll just do this. I think 4 is maybe the max I can do like this. This is just like the most basic way to cut a carrot. Like so. There we go. I'll take some of the bigger ones and like do them together. There we go. I'm trying to speed run this because we have the water boiling at this point. I need to get the carrots in there. Because technically carrots cook slower than potatoes. So we definitely want to try and get them in soonish. Even though they're like a smaller size, they're probably not going to cook as fast as the potatoes. I don't think, at least. We shall see. Let's go. There we go. We got a bunch of carrots in there now. Nice. There we go. Okay. Let's bring up the star of the show, aka the peas. Well, to be fair, they're not really the star of the show. I'm also going to turn on the one for the meat. There we go. Okay, we're going to measure this so that we like have our peas ready for when it's their time. So I think this should be maybe like, I don't know. Guess we'll see. So I think with all the ice, I want to go for like 250 grams maybe, because there's a lot of ice on these guys. Yeah, I think all of this is actually going to be perfect. There we go. That's going to be about 200 grams because there's a lot of ice and water here. So we're just going to go with that. And now we're going to do what's actually practical here. And we're going to rinse them a little bit under water. Just because like this will make the cooking process of them so much faster. But that is about 250 grams of peas with the ice. So I don't think it's going to be the same after we've washed them. We shall see. I have a hard time believing it though. God, it goes so fast when you like start thawing them like this. Like all the ice just disappears. Now these peas have been here for a very long time, and they've technically been like kind of damaged by the frost from the freezer. But I think that's fine. I mean, it doesn't matter to me as much. It usually only affects their consistency a little bit. Like flavor-wise, they should be kind of the same. Okay, our carrots are boiling. They're boiling hot, carrots. Okay, guys. I hope you guys are ready. I'm starting to get there with the with all the food and stuff. We're starting to get there. Now then, so we're gonna start with the meat. I think we are getting there with the meat. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so let's get to the meat, shall we? Did I run out of butter? I might have. Let's see. how much butter is this? So I want about, oh yeah, that's actually surprisingly perfect. I want about 60 grams, and this is 67. So that's actually bizarrely good. That's perfect. Wow, crazy. So yeah, for the meat, I'm actually going to move you guys so you can see what I'm doing here. For the meat, we're not going to be doing much. There we go. You got some vision. For the meat, we're basically just going to be cooking it in a little bit of oil and mostly butter. So we're going to do about like that amount of oil, just a little bit, just a smidge. Then we're going to take about half the butter, maybe not really half, close, close. And then we put this in and let it melt. Now, there's one thing that I've been a little bit skeptical about for this, and that is on my milk. So we need milk for the mash, but this milk is a little bit old. So I'm going to have to check it. Doesn't look old. Doesn't taste old. So it should be fine. Should be fine. Okay. Let's get to this, shall we? Okay, as I said, butter in. You just want this to melt. It's starting to get a little bit of color, and we don't want that. So we're gonna start going in with some meats. Just to like cool it down a little bit. Me going in with meat is like me saying, chill out, dickwad. I turn into the Terminator when I put my meat in. God, I hate that. There we go. Now we're gonna start by cooking this. Just like give it a little bit of a. As I said, this doesn't need any color really. You just want to cook the outside a little bit. Oops, God. Some of the meat just flew out. Okay, we're just gonna leave it like that, and then shove in the rest of the meat. I think it will fit, and I think it will be perfect. God, it barely fits. Because obviously, since we're not cooking the meat down that much, it's not gonna reduce in size that much either. So this is gonna be like right on the edge of fitting. I would have needed the big pot for this, but I needed that for the potatoes too. I need to get the bigger frying pan. I guess that's the only solution here. I need to get something that to fry stuff in that is bigger. I need another big pot, basically. Another big frying pot. But yeah, as I said, we're just gonna let this cook. Let it cook a little bit. Let it cook a little bit. While it's going, I'm gonna clean up a little bit as well. Because we do have a shit ton of stuff, or like peel here, I need to throw out. But to be fair, like this is a very efficient dish as well. The only thing that I'm throwing out from this dish is the peel from the potatoes and the carrots. So like there's not a lot of wasted food, stuff like that. This is actually great. There we go. Then we're gonna take all the plastic that I've left here for my cat to try and consume or something. I'm gonna take that and try to throw it away because my trash can is very full right now. I'm gonna need to throw it out after this. There we go. Beautiful, lovely. Now, let's have a look at the potatoes. I think they might be done, actually. Oh yeah, they're definitely done. It's gonna stir this a little bit so we get some fresh meat on the bottom. Oh god. Now this meat is so expensive that I will actually just like rinse it underwater and throw it back in. That is how expensive this meat is. Yeah, we are starting to get there, slowly but surely. Let's pour the water off the potatoes and start making the mash. Suicide is painless, but it brings on many changes. Those of you that get that reference, you've watched too many old shows. That's the only thing I can say. All right. Okay, let's turn this off. There we go. Okay, let's pour out the water. I can take or leave it if I please. The sword of time will pierce our skins. It doesn't hurt when it begins, but as it works its way on in, the pain grows stronger, watch it burn. 'Cause suicide is painless, but it brings on many changes. I can take or leave it if I please. Sword of time will pierce our skins. It doesn't hurt when it begins, but as it works its way on in. Yeah, we're getting there with the meat as well. Like, as I said, we don't want the meat to be like super cooked through. Not entirely. Now let's get to the potatoes. Now where did I put the things? The things to put in the thing. I actually don't know where I put them. Yes, I will have to look. Oh, they're up here. At least one of them. Where's the second one? Oh, there it is. I found it. I got it. I did it. Oh yeah, I'll bring you guys closer. Wait, I'm just like doing the pre-mashing of the potatoes. Now this is the nice thing about making mash with these kinds of potatoes. I know that I talked about it last time I streamed and made mash. But these potatoes are very, very like crumbly. They will like break super fast, super easy. So I kind of don't have to use any sort of like tool to crush them first. They will just like kind of go and do their thing. I'm gonna add the peas to the water. Let them heat up a little bit. A little bit of peas in the sun. A little bit of Jessica in the sun. But yeah, this is like how we want the meat cooked. We're basically like nothing is kind of cooked through just yet. But this is kind of the how we want it. We want it just like starting to turn like a cooked color. This is the way. You can bet it on the horses. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I need to be efficient about this. So I measured out 2 deciliters of milk. There we go. Or I want 2 deciliters of milk for this. Now I don't think that this is going to be enough to bring the mash together, but I have a secret weapon. I have a liquid from my fried meat that I can use in the mash as well. Boom. There we go. Have a little bit of a look. So I'm just going to use like, I'll do the main ingredients first, but if it's still looking like a little bit too dry, I'll just use some of from the liquid from the meat that's been cooking. And that should be good enough. Oh, fuck. Oh yeah, okay. Let's get to it. Let's start making some mashed potatoes, shall we? There we go. We have all the milk added. As you can tell, this is probably not wet enough yet. Maybe it is. I think it could use a little bit more liquid. There we go. So what we're going to do here, I'm just grabbing up some of the liquid from the meat here. We'll add some more. There we go. Beautiful, lovely. Now let's mix that in. Yeah, no, this is definitely more of the consistency that we're looking for. There we go. Now, obviously, we need to taste this and probably add some salt and pepper too. I think I can remove the. I'm gonna move the meat from the stove there real quick. Let's have a little taste. Oh yeah, that's super plain. Definitely needs more salt. Now, usually I like adding nutmeg to my mash, but these are one of those times where I do not, because this is more of a traditional recipe. Shouldn't have mash or a nutmeg, if you ask me. This is a simple salt and pepper kind of solution. I think we might add actually some more of the liquid from the meat as well. It was feeling a little bit dry still. So we'll add some of that. There we go. Showing us the dream. I come from a land down under. Red, white, and blue. The funny things you do. America, America, this is you. They say that hand was a gun. You need some love, like I never need love. If you want to make love to you, baby. Take on me when I come around. There we go. That should be a pretty good mix-up. We're going to give it a little bit of a taste again, just to make sure. I think pepper-wise, we might need to add a little bit more pepper and a little bit more salt. Something like that, maybe. I'll probably add a little bit more of the liquid too. I mean, we have a shit ton of it. There we go. And a little bit more white pepper. Like no crazy amount. Just a little bit more. Like that. Just a smidge. Just a touch. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a horrible thought. Oh god. A horrible thought that I usually have when I'm doing this. And this is like fucked up. I don't know why I think of it every time. But this happens, like I think of it a surprising amount of times when I'm just like making mash. And that is, I think about like, I'm getting so close with the whisk, right? I'm like kind of a little bit afraid of like, if I were to go a little bit over the edge, just like hit my hand and my fingers just like go into the whisk. I think it still needs a little bit more liquid. I have a tendency to underfeed liquid into my mash. And like, since I have this liquid from the sovas, I should just use it, right? Should just use it. There we go. We add a little bit more. There we go. Okay, let's have a taste, shall we? Where did I put my spoon? Found it. Oh yeah, that's it. I think we're done. We did it. Okay, I'm going to show you guys the last thing that we're going to do now for today before I start plating, because I feel like I want to do this before I start plating. So I'm going to bring you guys over here, and we're just gonna insert all my meat into this thing. Looking good, looking good. Now look at this. Like, there's so much meat here that I could just like probably take off and just eat. Right? We're gonna try and save it. Oh, that's so good though. I just had to take a bite. I'm so hungry. Okay. Okay, there we go. I had a couple of bites. That's enough. If I eat more, I'm not going to be able to eat my food that I've actually cooked. There we go. Now we'll do that, and we'll also take this, try and pour as much of the fat as we can in here. Actually, we should have used this for the mash, now that I think about it. There we go. We got meat in pot. Most important part is done. Now we're gonna wash our hands real quick because I'm like covered in fat now. And what we want to do here, we want to slowly simmer this. Like, we want to put it in cold water. And then slowly start to get it to simmer. So I'm gonna try and like make as much room as possible and add cold water to the meat. We're just gonna make sure that everything is covered. There we go. We have everything covered now. And we're gonna put it on the stove to start cooking. There you go. Quick little view of what it looks like. It looks freaking disgusting right now, but it's gonna be amazing later. I promise you. There we go. Okay. Now then, we're done with everything when it comes to cooking. So we're just gonna start to. Oh yeah, I did add some fat to this, so I'm gonna just mix it real quick. I did pour the last of the fat from the bones onto here. So we're just gonna mix it a little bit, make sure that it's incorporated. There we go. Then always before removing these, pull out the plug so you don't fuck up your hands. That would be a nightmare. And there we go. Now, something that you probably would have with this, if I'm going to be honest, is probably some sort of lingonberry jam. You would probably have that with this. Mostly because like lingonberry just works with most wild meat, right? So it's usually just a good choice. Here we go. We're going to start putting this into containers and also make a dish for ourselves to consume today. Yahoo! There we go. Putting everything away that doesn't need to be here because I'm gonna need the room. A little bit of Jessica in the sun, a little bit of Rita in the sun. Oh God. I almost choked myself on the meat. I like grabbed a piece and ate it, and I almost choked myself. I'm just not used to such big quantities of meat. Okay, we have 5, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Beautiful, lovely. We're gonna use this one to put it in there. I think we can actually turn off the fan now. Oh God, what a blessing to my ears. God damn. I can hear. I can fight. Okay. Let's see here. So, I think we have everything we need to start portioning this. A little bit of Jessica in the sun. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Beautiful, lovely. That's looking pretty good. Maybe we'll do it like that. Anyways, we're gonna do 1 scoop of mash. Like this. All right, I need a plate for myself as well. 1 scoop of mash for each lunchbox. We'll start with that, then we'll see where we go from there. Okay, that one needs a little bit more. It's like a little bit cheap. And then 1 for our plate for today. Okay, now we do just a little bit at a time for everyone. There's more mash than I expected. I'll be honest. There we go. There we go. Got all the mash out. Pretty freaking good. Okay. Now we do the vegetables, the veggies. So we'll do like 1 of these, I guess, in each to begin with. Now, I know that most of my cooking looks kind of, I wouldn't say boring, but it looks very basic. But there's a reason to that. And that is, it's way easier to make a lot of basic food than to make a lot of like advanced high-tier stuff. But I promise you guys, I can make proper food, okay? God. I'm so hungry that everything tastes great. Which is like a good problem to have, right? Like it could be worse. Okay. We got that done. Now it's time for the meat. the truly important part of this dish. Actually, I should probably do this. I'll grab the spoon that I've been using. I'll try to flatten out the mash a little bit so that we have room for the meat. And so that it like covers most of the lunchbox. I feel like that just makes sense, right? Now the problem that I'm gonna have with these lunchboxes that I just thought of is I'm gonna, like, it's gonna take a while to reheat them. It always does with mash. Always does. Okay, let's do 1 spoon each. We'll kind of see where this goes, I guess. God, this is a lot of food. I didn't think it would be this much food. I had to recount the, like, all my lunch boxes because I was like, there's so much food left, like so much meat. Or I feel like every lunchbox is so packed full. It's like, did I miss one? Maybe I could have made this 11. Oh well. I mean, it looks like a lot of food, to be fair, but I also don't think that there is actually, like, calorie-wise, it's not as much as you'd think. I have done the calculations. I have done the math, and this is not as much calories as you would think. It's actually like kind of one of the lower dishes. I think I did increase it a little bit by like adding some extra fat and stuff. But it's still like 140 maybe, something like that. Which is like kind of low. It's kind of low. We're gonna add some more to that one. I felt like I was like a little bit cheap here. We hit the floor, we hit the floor, we hit the floor, we hit the floor. Oh yeah, this is gonna be perfect actually. We have just the right amount, I think. And add a little bit more to that one. There we go. And the rest goes into my current food box, or rather my plate. Yeah, there's way more meat than I'm used to, but to be fair, it is to weigh up for the protein, right? So there's quite a bit of it. With the fur, looking at her. There we go. And now we're just gonna add a little bit of the liquid here to each one. Just to make sure that it's not too dry when we reheat it. This is one of those dishes that you can reheat, but it's definitely best while it's fresh, I would say. Just because of like how you want the meat to be kind of like not entirely well done. Now most of this meat is kind of well done because it had to like wait a little bit for me to get all the other stuff done. But I think that's okay. Okay, we'll add the rest to this one. Oh, there we go. Beautiful, lovely. We've done it. We've done it, everyone. We did it! Victory! Okay. I'll show you how the plate looks. Here you go. This is the actual like plate that I'm gonna be eating. That's a lot of food. I think I'm gonna be full. I'm gonna be very full, actually. But I mean, we did everything that I planned today, and it went better than expected. We have the stock going. It's slowly gonna start simmering away back on the stove. We have our food, our lunch boxes ready to go. I feel like this one might have a little bit less. I'm just gonna move around some pieces. There we go. Anyways, I'm gonna pack these up and eat because I am Like I'm so hungry that my stomach like hurts. But thank you all. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.